Susan Swartz is an American artist having her first show at the Belgravia Gallery in London. She has painted for 30 years landscapes in the forests of Pennsylvania, New England and Utah, but she is different from 5,000 other landscape artists at work because her paintings are about her as much as they are about nature. They have, as Van Gogh said of his own work, a soul to them. Susan, when you painted this trio, were you feeling as upbeat as I sense right here in the center, or was something else going on?
Well, it was one of those very magical days in England when we were on our way out to Knoll, and there was a blizzard, and there were not many people on the road. We were in a big tour bus, and the snow was coming down. The roads were slushy and full of snow, and you just looked into the trees, and the wind was swirling, and the branches were just laden with snow. And it was an hour-and-a-half ride out from the city, and it was just a stillness, a quietness, and it was very peaceful, and I was extremely moved.
It was peaceful, but were you?
Yeah, I was peaceful, Godfrey. You don't agree with that, but I was very peaceful. I was blown away, I think, by the serenity and the softness of the snow, and the trees were very sturdy, and everything was white, but the trees were black.
I think that the mood is very upbeat and joyous, but there are plenty of other pictures you've done over the last 9 years which seem to express a different mood. Tell us about that.
Well, you see a darkness in my paintings, which I don't feel, nor do I see. So it's hard to pull that out of me. I have come from 2 separate diseases sparked by man's tampering with the natural world. So I feel a real desire to save nature. I find it become very personal to me, and that I want people to think that when you go out in nature, that you see what has been given us, that you need to save it. So that feeling now comes, for example, with this one, where I've gone through the trees, but then the sun starts coming through, and then this is the feeling, and it all gets blended in.
When you say you get lost when you're painting, does that mean you go into a trance?
When I came from photorealism, it was like I knew what I was doing, what I had to do to make a tree look like a tree. Where I am now, it's what's going to happen. And when you put the paint on it, the way I put it on, it doesn't always come out like the way I want it to come out.
That means that the brush leads you.
So then it's like, okay, let's go with this, or let's not go with this. And so it becomes like a game to me.
When you start a picture, do you know where it's going? You don't sketch, do you?
I don't sketch, and I have an idea of where I want it to go, but it never ends up that way.
What's the first stroke you put on the blank canvas?
I work from the background forward with a lot of colors, and so with this one I start with, to build my depth out, I start with the darker tones first, and then I build up. This goes back to the old masters' paintings, because in here there's many, many shades of purples and blues. Like a flesh tone, you have to build it up. So I work that way.
The question I'm asking is, do you know where the painting is going, even when you're a third of the way into it?
I know where I want it to go. Sometimes I like so much what's happening in different areas that I follow what I'm doing there. When you put the glazes on, you're not sure what's going to happen, because I paint, I glaze, I paint, and I glaze. And where I think I know what the glaze is going to do, maybe it makes it too dark. And so then I have to go over with a lighter color. For example, in here, there's all these wonderful little shapes and glazes that come. I can't plan each and every one of those. So to me, that's the game, that's the fun of coming, and then you're here, then you have to get back 8, 12 feet and see what it looks like from 8 or 12 feet black to see if it works. So if it doesn't work, then you got to come and you have to put some highlights on. So that's the game, that's the really fun part of it that I really love right now.
Susan Swartz, thank you very much.
Thank you, Godfrey.